you need to be careful about who you vent to. Okay. And this is going to be different than the episode of privacy skills because even the people that's closest to you, you gotta look out for. It's really sad to say, but that's just really what it is. And we're going to get into it because you never know if your best friend might be your enemy. But with that being said, you know I got to do commercial time. Good morning, Instagram. And of course, good morning to the TikTok. You don't stop. And if you are listening to me on a podcast platform, wow, like you're really listening to me, and thank you so much. The numbers is going up, and I just appreciate you guys tuning in and just listening to me talk about my experiences, giving my wisdom and knowledge that I learned from, just being this New York City hood / smart chick. No, let me stop. But nah, it's very important to me that I do say, like, I'm not perfect. A lot of the things that I talk about, I made these mistakes, which is why I'm sharing them with you. And I don't want to come off as a person that know it all because I don't. I'm still learning every day, but which is why I'm sharing my experiences with you. But anyway, with that being said, can I get a drum roll, please? Today is Tuesday, known as Try Tuesday. So you gotta try it like a diaper pirate. So what are you trying? Like, yes. So back to the topic. Be careful of who you vent to, right? And this is not an episode where we're talking about venting to strangers. You should know better than to vent to strangers. But if you vent to strangers, you need to self work because people don't care, right? This is close family and friends, people that are closest to you. Be careful of who you vent to. Because I'm a big believer. Like this is just who I am as a person. I know for a fact people talk about me. I know for a fact the closest friends to me talk about me. And when I was a teenager, it used to bother me a lot. But now that I'm older, I don't care. No, I really don't care. And like when you talk about me, just make sure you let them know that like your girl is doing her thing. I may have some bad, but I damn sure got some good. And yeah, I just ask that you add the good when you talk about the bad. And it's not like, oh my God, she's talking about me. She doesn't love me. We're not friends. She's trifling. Like, no, like that doesn't mean that. You could talk about me. I'm okay with it, but to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you talk about some crazy stuff, then no, I'm not okay with it. But if you're literally just like, oh yeah, she's bugging or she's stressing me out because of that, like that's fine. That's fine. But I am also a big believer in, and this came about recently. Okay, I didn't have this skill a few years ago. Keeping personal things to yourself. Because people run their mouth. And you have to you have to protect yourself. That's what you have to do. But also, it could be the person that's closest to you that runs their mouth. And I'm not talking about just like talking about you, but literally like telling your secrets, your deepest, darkest secrets. That's why I feel like some things aren't to be talked about to people. If you pray and you believe in God, you need to have that conversation with God. If you see a therapist, then you need to have a conversation with that therapist because legally that therapist is not supposed to say anything, And sometimes you have to just keep certain things to yourself because you never know if somebody's wishing bad on you or if somebody just enjoy you're miserable. If somebody just enjoy the negative things that come to you in life, you'll never know. And I'm not saying don't go acting crazy to your best friend or your closest friends or your family members, but I'm just saying please be aware and have that guard up. You just never know how people might really just enjoy you being miserable in life. And we live in a world where I don't know if I touched this on the episode of Privacy Skills, but we live in a world where like girls are talking about getting abortion so openly on the internet, STDs, like drug addict. Like these are things that you need to keep to yourself. Granted, I get that you're trying to make, well, some people don't even do this, but if you're trying to make the youth aware, I get it. But like we literally live in a world where couples go at it and darkest secrets is being told through the internet. Like that is crazy. Like that is really crazy. Like, and it's like that's why you need to watch who you vent to, whether it's your husband, whether it's your man, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's your wife. You need to be careful of who you vent to. Okay? Because not everybody can hold water. That's one. Let's just say that straight. Not everybody can hold water. And it's just certain things you just got to take to the grave with yourself. Okay? And a lot of people don't have that skill in today's society. And it's sad because I feel like the generation before us and the generation before that, they had that skill. And we're losing that skill. And we need to gain that skill. Because when you're sitting here and you're venting, yes, life is hard. Adult life is ghetto. I tell you this all the time. Like, it is very hard. But it's just certain things you just really want to keep to yourself. Like, when you're down at your lowest, you want to keep it to yourself. Especially if it's like a situation where you and your spouse is going through it, but y'all going to get back together. Do not go bashing somebody else's character. You know what I'm saying? Because then all that's going to do is just make the person that you're telling the situation to want to talk about you when you get back together with that person. Or if like, you had to do some crazy thing to, like, get money, keep that to yourself, especially if it's going to incriminate you. Keep it to yourself. Don't have somebody have something over your head because you never know. People, like, you never know. Fallouts just happen. Sometimes people outgrow each other. And you just never want to, you never want to have to walk away from somebody and think to yourself, like, damn, what if they tell? Be careful of who you vent to. Stop venting to people. Learn how to keep things to yourself. I'm not saying keep things to yourself to a certain extent where you go crazy, but the deepest and darkest secrets should either be talked to with God or talked to with a therapist. It should not be talked to with a friend or family member. I'm sorry. That's just my beliefs. You could take my advice or you could leave it. I mean, if you're comfortable with telling people your business, don't get mad when they talk about you and don't get mad when they tell you business. But if you're not comfortable with that, then you need to take this advice and you need to reevaluate yourself and you need to get yourself together and you need to learn how to just handle things on your own. It's tough love. Sorry if I have no sympathy. I don't have sympathy because it's just like, I'm really big on knowing the consequences to when you do things. And this is doing something that could be a consequence depending on the person that you do it to. So you just never know, which is why you need to build that guard up. Stop venting to people. Learn how to vent in your own way. Learn how to deal with stress. That's another episode. I need to write that down. Learn how to deal with stress and deal with it on your own. I know it sounds messed up, but it really is what it is. In these days, you really got to protect yourself because people are wicked. Okay? People are wicked. I was not smiling just now. I had to just open up my mouth. But yeah, people are wicked. Okay? And you just don't want to get caught out here in this crossfire. But with that being said, I'm going to leave that right there. If you made it this far to the episode, I love you. And if you didn't, that's okay. You still tuned in. Be careful of the people you vent to. Everybody don't want to see you succeed in life. And some people enjoy when you're miserable and down. And we don't want to give them enjoyment. It's not VH1. It's not Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you guys, I'm going to leave that right there. And tomorrow is the dating series. So yes, I will definitely see y'all tomorrow. And